Hey guys, welcome back to my 12th video for Money May Scouts. Today we're going to be breaking down the film on the BYU freshman AJ Dybantsa. AJ is a 19-year-old freshman from Brockton, Massachusetts. He's had a strong year so far, averaging these numbers this season. Let's dive into Dybantsa's strengths. Standing at 6'9", he is a very fluid and athletic forward. He's an incredibly talented scorer, knowing how to get to his spots at a high level. He's very effective in the mid-range and at the rim, but he's also a solid passer and on-ball defender. The first strength of his that I would like to discuss is his ability to score in the mid-range, where he connects at 45%. On this first clip, AJ rips middle, then has good timing and touch to elevate over his defender and knock down the shot. AJ rips left, then spins back middle before he could get cut off and rises over his man to connect on a midi fade. Dybantsa backs his man down going middle, then draws him up with the shot fake, absorbs the contact, and knocks down the shot for the and one. Dybantsa displays good concentration here. He drives left, bumps his man, shot fakes, draws contact, and is still able to connect. Even on the mid-range shots where he misses, they are usually either long, short, or rim out. There aren't a lot of left to right misses, which is impressive given the degree of difficulty in some of the shots he takes. The second strength of Dybantsa's is his ability to finish at the rim, where he converts at 68%. Here he draws his man up with the hezzy, then goes right, spins back middle, and finishes over his defender and the help defender. AJ lulls his man to sleep after a few dribbles, then spins middle, the paint is empty, and he windmills for the finish. Here he gets by after throwing a pass fake, takes off from the Big 12 logo, then absorbs the contact for the and one. I love this bucket from Dybantsa. He displays great patience by utilizing a great hesitation into a low pickup, going back left to finish. AJ is also great at operating out of ball screens. He acts as a pick and roll ball handler on almost 25% of possessions, producing 1.31 points per possession. Here he gets to switch off the ball screen and utilizes that early gather, low pickup again as he converts for the and one. Dybantsa comes off the ball screen, gets to the elbow, and throws in a pair of shot fakes. He gets his man to jump, then steps through and makes the touch shot. Dybantsa uses the ball screen, then does a great job at getting to a spot at the elbow, connecting on the pull-up midi. AJ is also an effective playmaker out of ball screens. Here he snakes the screen well, cutting off his defender's angle, drawing help, then dishing to right who hits the open three. Here he draws two off this ball screen and does a nice job of utilizing a slight pass fake and looking off the pass to keep his teammate open, which led to a good look. Dybantsa comes off the brush screen from Keita and makes a nice pass to the open right who just can't knock down the shot. The next strength of his is his effectiveness in transition. He acts as a ball handler on about 42% of transition possessions, excelling with 1.4 PPP. Here he pushes up the court, shows like he might pass but doesn't see bodies, so he goes up and finishes through the contact for the and one. AJ is still on the other end as BYU gets the steal. They hit ahead to him and he makes a nice play, shot faking, then ripping baseline to finish the reverse. Here AJ steps in off the hit ahead pass, has good balance, and knocks down the catch and shoot three. Now on the playmaking side, we see him find Saunders well in this transition look for three. This was a good job by Dybantsa running the break and finding his open teammate right for three. This is a good push by AJ. He drives, draws help, then finds right open in the same side corner. AJ's fifth strength is his playmaking ability. He's a very selfless passer. Here he uses the ball screen going middle, hits behind the back to go left, then shot fakes, uses his pivot, and dumps it off to Keita, who finishes. Everybody thinks AJ is going to shoot this ball as he sizes up the big man to take him off the dribble, but he makes the unselfish pass to the open shooter in the corner for a better look. Dybantsa draws the help, then makes a nice pass to right in the corner, who hits the three. Dybantsa displays good composure after seeing a double off the spin move to find the open shooter. Moving on to defense, Dybantsa displays good activity in passing lanes. Here he does a good job sticking with his man as he rejects the screen, then timing up the attempted skip pass, deflecting it for the steal. AJ does a good job covering down and deflecting the dump-off pass, leading to the BYU steal. This was a great job by him of reading the eyes of the passer and using his length to get in the passing lane and intercept the ball. AJ is slightly out of position, but makes up for it by using his length to deflect the pass attempt, causing the turnover. The last strength of Dybantsa's is his ability to guard on ball. Here he doesn't let Haggerty rip him baseline as he is able to cut him off, then is with him on the counter, causing him to pass the ball off. AJ applies great pressure on the ball. His active hands knock the ball loose, leading to a 10-second violation. Here he does a great job guarding Burry's one-on-one, not letting him get past, and forcing him to take a tough runner over him. On this possession, Dybantsa is matched up with Koa Pete. He keeps him in front and absorbs the bump well, helping to cause the travel. Now let's move on to the development areas for AJ Dybantsa. It is important to acknowledge that some of these areas are aspects of his game that he's perfectly capable of doing. He just requires more consistency with in order to hit that next gear as a player in the league. The first area I'd like to talk about is his three-point shooting. Dybantsa's three-point percentage is currently just over 36%, so one might be wondering, is this really a development area for him? My concern with this shot occurs on two levels, structurally and then variance in how he shoots. To the first area, the NBA line is about 2 feet further back than the college line. Typically, this is not a difficult change for players coming into the league, but a lot of these players get a fair amount of arc on their shots. If you watch AJ's threes, they mostly occur right at the college line, and his shot is very flat. Extending his range and adding some arc on his shot will be critical at the next level. On the second aspect, I found there to be a direct correlation in the games that I watched with Dybantsa's three-point efficiency when he holds his follow-through all the way through his shot versus when he doesn't. Over these 5 games, when he stuck his follow-through, he made 6 out of 9 threes. When he did not stick his follow-through and in turn sometimes rushed his shot, he shot a terrible 2 for 17 from 3. Not every player, like Steph for instance, needs to stick their follow-through all the way, but for AJ it is important because it correlates with him having better balance and not rushing his shot, both of which are critical to his efficiency. The next development area for AJ is with him taking care of the ball more effectively. He sometimes puts himself in bad situations and then expects to be bailed out with a foul call. Here he has it picked from him as he tries to get past the defender along the sideline. This is an example of him needing to play through contact. Dybantsa drives middle, then flails his body after receiving some contact, causing the ball to be ripped from him for the turnover. On this play, AJ drives middle off the post-up, tries to spin away from the stunt, but spins right into help side, coughing up the ball for the turnover. AJ sizes up the ASU player, then tries to go into a low pickup middle, but his man stays in front and the help gives a good stunt, causing AJ to kick out and that same help defender to pick it off. Dybantsa tries to post up, loses the ball a bit going baseline, then tries to make a tough pass behind a hoop and it's intercepted. The third development area for Dybantsa is being less reliant on foul calls. He is very skilled at drawing fouls, shooting almost 9 free throws a game. However, sometimes he's too reliant on seeking out the whistle, which could lead him into bad shots. He doesn't need to put so much weight into the ref's hands with how skilled he already is at scoring and getting to his spots. This play frustrates me because at the top of his shot, he decides to flail his body to sell the foul despite there being minimal contact instead of focusing on the shot itself. At a critical point in this game, Dybantsa falls away from the hoop expecting a call. Instead, he should have been aggressive in using his size and athleticism to try and finish through Pete. Like I said earlier, he is skilled at drawing fouls. I like these takes more because he doesn't leave the foul call open for interpretation. Here he receives some contact, immediately rises up and displays good concentration to finish the touch shot. This was a clever way for Dybantsa to draw the foul in the layup attempt. He sought out body contact when Pete wasn't in a legal guarding position, making the refs have to call the foul. The next development area for him is his shot blocking. He's so athletic and has a great wingspan, yet only blocks 0.4 shots a game. You would think he would have plays like this more often. Sometimes this is due to poor timing. On this play, he does a little hop before going into his jump, throwing off the attempt. Here, Dybantsa switches on to Harding. He wasn't expecting him to shoot the ball as he drives towards the hoop, and Harding sneaks the shot past him to finish. Sometimes it simply comes down to effort. Dybantsa showed no interest here in trying to block this dunk. It doesn't matter if you get dunked on, but being 6'9" and not contesting this speaks volumes. The last development area of Dybantsa's is finding more consistency in defensive rebounding. Here he ball watches on the rebound and it gets tapped out to the man closest to him. Dybantsa should have turned and put a body on him. AJ fails to identify the correct person to box out. He's looking towards the perimeter but doesn't see the uncovered K-State player under the rim and the miss goes right to him. This is pretty simple. AJ just turns and watches the ball on the rebound. He has to go seek out a body. AJ needs to do a better job of driving his man out here. He has a body on him but doesn't work to push him out, leading to a tip-in attempt for ASU. Dybantsa does have his moments where he does well at making contact. Here he boxes out effectively and uses his athleticism to go secure the board. This is when AJ is at his best, when his man doesn't crash and he could use his athleticism to trace and secure rebounds through traffic. Moving on to the final segment of the video, let's look into how Dybantsa's game will translate to the NBA. Dybantsa is such a talented scorer. He knows how to get to his spots at a high level, is great at operating on a ball screens, and knows how to get others involved well. He's perfectly capable of cleaning up the development areas I listed before and becoming a great NBA player. So for what teams might it make the most sense for to select AJ Dybantsa? AJ will almost certainly be a top 2 pick, so I'll list some of the teams that have a stronger chance at landing that top pick while also being a good fit for him. The first team that would make a lot of sense are the Kings, as they don't have very many young pieces to build around for the future. Dybantsa could be that star Sacramento needs to begin that process of becoming relevant again in the West. The second team are the Wizards. This is more in regards to the potential likelihood of the Wizards landing a top pick, so I can very much see Dybantsa landing in DC. Although the Wizards appear to be moving away from the rebuilding phase before it is fully developed, Dybantsa would still be a key part of their future. The third team is a team I hope lands a top pick, which are the Grizzlies. Memphis is almost certainly moving away from Ja this offseason, and I would love to see a young core centered around Dybantsa and Cedric Howard. I think those are 2 great pieces to rebuild with. That's all I got on AJ Dybantsa. If you made it to this point, thank you for watching my 12th scouting video. I look forward to working on my next breakdown soon.